Show. Damn it! The Edge.
Here he is, the pissed off prophet of pop. It's Patrick, the angry viewer.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get to it first. A word from our sponsor. All right, anger allies. This may be a difficult subject, but let's face it. As men get older, we have to get really serious about the health of our colon. But who wants to go through the humiliation in an office of medical staff you don't know? Well, you don't have to anymore thanks to the Clay Aiken and Friends Home Colonoscopy Kit. That's right. All you need is a home computer and a buddy. Just plug Clay's special probe right into your computer's USB port and let your buddy do the rest. Maybe you have colon concerns, or maybe just like Clay, you just have colon curiosity. Either way, you won't be disappointed. The Clay Aiken and Friends Home Colonoscopy Kit. We give up yours a whole new meaning. All right. ABC producers opted not to renew Rosie O'Donnell's contract in spite of the fact that The View has a bigger audience and more publicity than ever. That makes sense, doesn't it? Are you frickin' kidding me? ABC letting go of their cash cow makes about as much sense as putting Nicole Richie and the word cleavage in the same sentence. Don't get me wrong, I still think Rosie runs her big mouth way too much. In fact, I imagine the only time Rosie's mouth ever closes is when she clamps it around a 5-pound ham shank. But how the hell are producers not going to pony up the bucks when Rosie brought the ratings to the highest they've ever been? Put it like this. If I had to have surgery on my prostate, and when I woke up I realized the doctor had doubled the size of my Johnson while he was there, well, I sure as hell would want to pay him a little extra. In all honesty, before Rosie was on there, I didn't even know there was a show called The View. And now that she's gone, what's left? A couple of women so old they could have left a waiter's tip at the Last Supper. And a blonde woman who reminds me of a Chihuahua on crack. Seriously, if my choices are A, listening to her incessant yapping for an hour, or B, letting Clay Aiken give me a colonoscopy, then I better call my HMO to see if Clay is in network. And now, oh brilliant ABC producers, I guess the world can just sit back and watch The View's ratings sag like Hillary Clinton's ass. Next up, TV and movie star Anne Heche and her estranged husband, one Mr. Coleman Lohan, are fighting for custody of their child. Now he's suing on the grounds that she's not mentally competent enough to take care of their child. Did I say Mr. Coleman Lohan? I should have said Mr. Coleman Buffoon. Are you freaking kidding me? Let me ask you something there, Mr. Cold-Cut Buffoon. You mean to tell me when you married Anne Heche, you were the only person on the planet who didn't know she had more screws loose than the Mike Huckabee campaign? Come on, Mr. Comb-Over Baboon. We're talking about a woman who not that long ago broke up with Ellen DeGeneres and was found wandering in the desert picking boogers and telling people that the mothership was on the way to get her. She's so crazy, people who do LSD should refer to it as dropping Anne Heche. Do you smell what I'm stepping in there, Mr. Colostomy Balloon? Then Anne Heche fires back by saying that when their son stays with him in Los Angeles, he sends the boy to preschool while he plays poker and views online pornography. Yeah, what's your point, Anne? Do you know how much porn it would take to erase the memory of seeing you naked? Let's just say there's a good chance I'd need to keep backup copies of Forrest Hump and Pulp Friction on hand. Get it on hand?
Yeah.
Bottom line, you two morons combined couldn't pour piss out of a boot with the instructions on the hill. I'm rooting for the grandparents. And finally, two words have me angrier than a midget alcoholic when the whiskey's on the top shelf. Lindsay Lohan. So, Lindsay, let me get this straight. A couple of weeks back, pictures surfaced of you on the internet handing out cocaine to your friends like you were at Tony Montana's birthday party. Do you want some of this blow, man? This week, in the span of about 4 hours, you leave the club drunk, wreck your car, get a DUI, leave the police station, and then make alcoholics nationwide swell with pride by immediately returning to the club until 4 a.m. Aren't you freaking kidding me, mate? What is this, the Skankapalooza tour? And how the hell is it you can afford to pass out blow like it was peppermints from my grandma's purse and not spend a little money on a limo driver? Or maybe a taxi cab. Hell, at this pace, maybe the safest thing you could do is just find a post outside the club to which you could tie a freaking camel to ride. Then you could combine your two favorite things, driving drunk and getting your hump on. Yeah, getting pulled over while drunk driving on a camel down Hollywood Boulevard might be embarrassing, but at least you get to keep your driver's license. Then to top that off, when you and the rest of the skank wagon gang leave the club from your second leg of the tour, the paparazzi took pictures of you on the sidewalk blowing chunks like the Krakatoa volcano. Well, somebody's had a busy day there, huh, Tiger? The only thing you left out was floating a steaming turd in your $800 pair of Louis Vuitton sweatpants. Of course, I'm sure you'll tell everyone this was just research for the new movie where you play a stripper, but I don't seem to recall ever tipping a stripper who wrapped an extra long cheese coney in the middle of my lap dance. Well, here's a couple tips for you, skanksy blowhand. Number 1, learn to hold your damn liquor. Number 2, be responsible. The next time you think about getting behind the wheel drunk and turning your car into a 5,000-pound missile, why don't you just do the right thing and aim it at Paris Hilton? That's it. I'm out of here.
I have to give him a standing O today. Standing ovation. Standing O for Patrick, the angry fuel.
The Corey and Jay Show on 100.3 The Edge.